My name is Crystal Zebon, and I've just returned from an attempt by 100 women to enter Gaza in solidarity with the women and children of Gaza. Before we left, we went to the AIPAC conference in Washington, D.C. to protest Israel's blockade and brutal treatment of the people. I was there with my friend Paki Weiland and Medea Benjamin from Code Pink, who had organized the U.S. contingent of this 100-woman delegation. Medea left that night for Cairo and then to go into Gaza. She was stopped at the Cairo airport and was brutally beaten. They deported her, and with no real reason given.
As soon as I got to the passport control, I was immediately turned around. Told me it would be a few minutes, that I'd had to wait, and it wasn't a few minutes, it was 22 hours. I was detained along with 30 other French women, and when the French women couldn't get through, some of them, the rest of them didn't even try. They all stood in solidarity. We sat on the floor, we sang songs, we did chants, we waved flags, clapping, everything, dancing. It's not where we wanted to be, but we made it what we wanted it to be, and I hope that our message gets out, that this is about the women of Gaza. It is not about our experience, but it is our attempt to bring attention to their suffering.
My group was sequestered in an airport gate area, boarding gate area, for 28 hours.
This whole pursuit was to show solidarity and support for the women of Gaza. And the fact that Egypt wouldn't even let us out of the airport, my concern is that the message that these people are going to receive was like, we are that much more isolated.
Our intention had been to visit Gaza's International Women's Day celebration. We've been invited there by women's organizations and by the UN Relief and Works Agency that provides education for Gaza children. We were bringing presents and other solar lamps for people who have suffered from the lack of electricity for the last year or so, and in the hopes that that might be helpful.
I can't imagine being a person living in Gaza, wondering when the F-16s are going to be flying overhead again with the bombs that they're going to be dropping, and the fact that the eyes and ears of the world aren't paying attention.
Or that you are at the checkpoint and you have a very sick kid on the shoulder of the mother, and the checkpoint should open, but they don't. And the kid looks at me with these big brown eyes, really asking me, why doesn't it open? Why can't you help me to open this checkpoint? I need to go to the hospital.
Her message was this. She says, I lie in bed and I listen to the bombs go off. And I listen to the buildings that they hit. And as I'm lying in bed, I think, dear God, I pray that it's not my house, that it's not me and my family that's going to be receiving this next bomb that's going to land on the streets of Gaza. But as I realize that I'm praying for this, at the same time, I'm aware that if it doesn't hit my house, it's going to hit somebody else's house. And the guilt that I feel from making these prayers, realizing that somebody's going to take the bomb.
But just these really sad eyes. And I was trying to call the helpline and to kind of force the soldier sitting there to open the gate. But she just smiled at me and polished her nails. Those are little situations which really get to your heart, and you just feel like, oh my God.
They were throwing tear gas into a school with really young children. And
the first school day, kids with dressed up and nice hair and their Mickey Mouse bag on their back, very proud, having their first school day. And the parents were not allowed to go to the checkpoint, and the kid had to go alone. And through this huge, really prison-like gate. to the other side to enjoy her first school day.
It seems so wrong that women in Gaza cannot speak in their own voice to people around the world, that they are being shut away from every opportunity to express their own situation. Meanwhile, the great powers that connive in this really wicked policy of a siege are constantly quoted in the newspapers and in the media expressing their point of view. The women of Gaza, the Egyptian state has tried to silence them by preventing people like us from visiting with them and standing with them and conveying what they have to say to the rest of the world. And it's really time for more and more people to say, this is enough. We have to question these policies and listen to, and we have to hear from actual people who are not just chess pieces on a board, but who are real people who live real lives and have the right to their own rights and have human rights.